Trying to buy a house right now with financing seems almost impossible. But today, I'm going to tell you about a new program that will let you make cash offers and compete with the big buyers. So let's talk about the advantage you've been waiting for right now. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Rick Harrison with MVP Realty, and on this channel, I teach you everything you need to know about living, buying, and selling in Southwest Florida. If this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on all the latest information and updates. If you're a financing buyer in today's market, you're probably hearing all about how tough it is to get an offer accepted, or maybe you've experienced it firsthand. It's definitely not easy when you're competing with all cash buyers who waive the inspections, waive the appraisals, and can let the sellers lease the home back for as long as they need. And while these kinds of offers have traditionally been the end game for financing buyers, a 2019 startup and lending company called UpEquity has come up with some innovative ways to solve these issues of housing accessibility in tough market conditions. The main program that UpEquity offers is their all-cash offer program, and it's exactly as it sounds. If you're a buyer with a strong credit history and adequate financial position, UpEquity has a program that will allow you to make an all-cash offer on a home, leveling the playing field for many financing buyers. So how does it work? Well, the first thing is you have to be qualified. Unlike the typical pre-approval process of most lenders, UpEquity fully underwrites your loan. So they are nearly 100% certain that you qualify for the conventional loan that your all-cash offer gets rolled over into. And I say nearly 100% because sometimes things happen, like the loss of a job or unforeseen emergency expenses, etc. They have support in case those things happen as well, but I'll talk about that a little later on. Next, your realtor will need to follow specific instructions for writing the offer to the sellers, because this will most likely be not only new to your realtor, but the listing agent as well. And these instructions and resources that you send with the offer will put the listing agent and seller at ease, explaining the offer and how it works. UpEquity also has a certification process for realtors to go through and get trained on the product so they can better represent you and guide the seller's side through the transaction. What the program boils down to is that UpEquity will be the buyer of the home on the contract. Once the loan requirements have been satisfied and a clear to close has been given, UpEquity will assign the home to you as the buyer and roll it into a conventional loan. The seller gets their cash offer and you get your home, beating out the other financing offers. But what happens if you were to lose your job during this whole process? Because UpEquity completely underwrites the loan ahead of making the offer, they're aware of the risk and your credit worthiness. They have a 6-month grace period to provide you the time to get another job. And what about inspections and appraisals? Because that's a big thing right now, right? Just as any buyer or weary investor, they want to make sure you're buying a good investment that you'll be able to afford. They require a 10-day minimum inspection, and when it comes to the appraisal, they put a rush order on it right away, which is forward thinking because appraisals right now can take 2 to 3 weeks in a tough seller's market. And if the home doesn't appraise, just as you would on another property, you have the option to either walk away or make up the difference with negotiations. And for different ways to negotiate low appraisal and still get the home, check out my video in the top right. I cover 5 both traditional and more creative ways to keep your deal alive. So how quickly can you close with UpEquity? On average, UpEquity can close within 21 days, so it's competitive with traditional lenders, but they require a minimum 25-day closing written on the offer. They're also on par for the cost and origination fees. They don't charge any additional fees for this program, and their rates are very competitive with other lenders, both big and small. So what are the disadvantages of the program? There really aren't any disadvantages other than you'll still have to compete with other offers that waive their right to an appraisal and inspection, which in my opinion is a poor decision anyways. They have a couple other programs for buyers who need to sell their home first and refinancing, but I'll cover those in another video. So now you can add UpEquity into your toolbox as another option to winning the multiple offer battle and getting your dream home. I've been certified by UpEquity and have included a link in the description to apply for the program. If you have any questions about the program or if it's right for you, feel free to leave a comment below. And now that you know how to get the dream home, you need to know where you want to live, right? In my next video, I'll give you an overview of the top cities in Southwest Florida and what makes them each desirable. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. And don't forget to subscribe. I post new videos every Wednesday about living, buying, and selling in Southwest Florida. Thanks again, and I'll see you next week.